Hello everyone, welcome back to another ACC online race here at Donington. I'm James and we're in the Merc today. So Merc seems to be pretty good around Donington, I've found. I've done a few practice laps every now and again and the Merc just seems to be really strong around here. So we're going to see if at Donington here in this pretty competitive field, we're in the Thrustmaster sponsored lobby, and we've got some quick guys in here, so we're going to see if we can salvage anything from this and basically maybe come down with a good result. But anyway, on the outlap, again, outlaps are just here for warming tyres, getting the brakes nice and warm, setting up for our flying out. Now we're at the end of quali here. I've done a few laps already. Definitely felt I could go a little bit quicker, but the next lap you're about to see is going to be my quickest lap. Not by much, but it is. Donington is quite tricky. It's quite hard to get the lap dead right. You can easily invalid your lap at the chicane. You know, mess up the braking zone for the hairpins, you know, etc. So it's a tricky track to get right. It seems simple on paper, but it really it's quite hard. So we're going down to TC4 for the lap. I find that TC4 is good for this track. Out the hairpins, modulates the throttle nicely, and you can get on the power nice and early. But here we go, through the final hairpin, through the final corner, onto the lap. Pressures are perfect, brakes are nice and hot. Under the banner and start a lap. So coming down into T1, we want to be right over to the left hand side, pretty much in the pit lane. A little bit of right hand curve, some on the left as well. Down through, coming towards the crane of curves. I love this section. This is so good in G3. Completely flat, braking down. Just clip the apex, use a bit of outside curve. Got the car on the right there, but he's not gonna impose us at all or get in the way. Down into McLean's. Tricky corner, this late apex, but lots of curb runoff. Didn't quite use it there. You can see we're actually down on the delta from our last lap, which is 29.1. But we'll definitely see if we can try and get into the 28s maybe, or into the low 29s. You can see the session has actually finished. We're going to try and finish this lap, braking in between the boards into the hairpin, using lots and lots of curb. A little bit of a skid on the exit, easy to do. Braking middle of the boards again into the hairpin. Joking up nicely, trying to get on the power. Yeah, that was pretty good. Now going into the final corner, we're still down on the delta, so we're going to have something pretty magical at the final corner. And you can see we just get on the power really nicely, and the delta is just going to go green before we cross the line. Session's over, and we end up being 4th, so it's not a bad lap in general. Ends up being pretty good, not only about 2-3 tenths off the pace, so I was pretty happy with this at the time. I was thought, yeah, it's pretty good. And you see it's a Merc top 4, so clearly the Merc is a quick car around here, and I reckon we're going to have a good race here. 4th is good position. You can get the toe off the guys in front and just see what happens, really. We've got most of the pack behind us, so let's see what we can do. Waiting for the lights, getting the green.
Low tire pressure, stay clear of the curves.
So again, in this short period of time, you've got to warm up the tyres, warm up the brakes. The pressures are really cold, the tyres are really cold. We've seen the Merc spins out of the hairpin. He's going to have to catch up, hopefully catch up, before we get to the hairpin. I just want to stay in my green bit, right at the front of it, and try and pick up on the throttle as early as possible. And you see that Merc's caught up, luckily for him, so there we go. So we want to keep it just in the 43 mile/hour zone. See him just about there. And lights go green. It's a decent reaction. Everyone else gets a pretty good reaction too. Down into turn 1. They're going side by side in front. I've got a car on the right. I didn't really realise about. I sort of have to be driven wide. It's the big chungus GTR up the inside, bright pink and black GTR. I was shocked to see that come through, if I'm honest. Down into the corner curves, a little lift because of the dirty air. We're just going to have to tuck him behind for now. It's first lap. We've got a 20-minute race so we can make gains. So yeah, tucking in behind the GTR, it's giving us such a big slipstream that, well, we're gaining. Oh, the Ferrari nearly hits us in the background there in the mirror. And, oh, it's so close on these first laps, you know, anything can really happen. But so far it's been actually pretty clean. Already the guys in front, guy in second alone is 2.5 seconds up the road from me, so we're going to need to hope for a mistake or two. And this chicane usually ends up being a mistake, Kevin, and is the GTR goes off to support the Merc in front, the Mad Panda livery Merc in front also goes off. So that's a position gain, so the GTR has not managed to hold his position for very long, and we've got him back. And we're already a little bit closer to the guy in third now due to that mistake. The Ferrari's right behind us still, he's clearly looking pretty quick. Tyres are now up to temperature. And, well, if you watch the last video, this time I decided to actually calculate my fuel, so fuel isn't actually going to be an issue in this one, thankfully. We don't have to fuel save at all, it's all flat out to the end, 20-minute sprint, push. Yeah, we see settling in fourth, so where we started, into the hairpins again. Very tricky corners to get right. You see, only then am I on the power fully. 17 minutes to go. Got a yellow flag somewhere, but I don't think it's anywhere near us. And this is just, you know, a patience game at this point. You want to stay with the guys in front. You don't want to, you know, lose any position or time really to the guys behind. You just want to try and keep up if you can. I mean, this is again a quick lobby, so keeping up is so far posing to be pretty tricky. There's already sort of gapped me, but there's definitely time to catch up. There a bit wide at the corner curves, and unfortunately that's a warning. Now at the time I thought I didn't really gain any time from that. In fact, I probably lost some time, but the game gave me a warning anyway. But as long as we can stay without too many of those warnings and not pick up a penalty at all, that'll be really good. You can see the purple Merc must have a terrible run out of that corner and has dropped to the Mad Panda Merc in front. And we're just hoping now they're fighting. They're already side by side into the hairpin. So we're just thinking, right, popcorn, get the popcorn out. We can watch them crash each other off. Hopefully they're banging doors already, so they're not really leaving each other much room at all. And you see side by side into the final hairpin again of Goddard's. And there's contact. They both go off the road, and that hands me seconds. So I was mega happy with this. I was like, yeah, that's what I was hoping to happen, and it has. So we've done a fastest lap of 29.5. Race pace wise, that's not too bad, although we did have the mistake of corner curves. And the leader is just going slowly for some reason. I don't know whether that's just slow up to have a race, or is that just throttle stuff or something, but he slowed down, and now I've got the lead. The lead of the race. So that was kind of all unexpected. In 2 or 3 corners I've gone from 4th to 1st, which was a bit unexpected. So all we can do now is just try and hammer out the laps, consistent laps, try and pull away from the guys behind. We've got about a 2-second gap to the next guy, and we just want to keep these laps flowing, minimal mistakes. But we're on lap 6 now. We've done 6 laps, 10 minutes to go, so I've managed to hold on for now, and so far the gap, it has come down. It's about half of what it was a couple of laps ago, but then I didn't really have the pace in this lobby at all to be in first, if I'm honest. I qualified 4th again, wide out of corner curves. Another warning, unfortunately, for exceeding track limits. And it's just so frustrating, you know. You don't think the warnings are pretty valid to you, and but it is what it is. We keep pushing. But anyway, guys, if you are liking the video so far, I appreciate any support. So like, subscribe, comment your thoughts, turn the notification bell on. That's really appreciated. But anyway, we're just trying to hammer out the laps, try and keep the Merc behind. That's all we can do now. It's just a defending race now. We're not attacking anymore. We were attacking in the early half, but now we're defending. Right, 6 minutes to go. We've done 8 laps now, and 1 second behind, but the guy is doing about 3/10 a lap or so quicker than me so far. The pressures on my front left are not ideal, slightly overheating. We're wide out the final corner. I was so inconsistent in this race, and you can see the guy in second is all over me down the crane of curves. I just got to keep my cool, handle the pressure. I sort of go semi-defensive into the crane of curves. Doesn't leave me with the greatest exit. I'm going to run all the way up to McLean's. I'm just going to again park the bus, put it in the middle, and there you go. He sort of tries to go for a look, but there's no way through, and we keep our position for now. So the pressure is really ramping up now on me. I've got to keep these laps going, you know, fast sectors, fast corners to keep him behind. But he also has the dirty air of me, so through these fast corners, such as the chicane coming down into here, yes, he's going to get a bit of a toe, but you can see he actually gets a really good exit. I'm not so good. He's going to put his nose up the inside. I'm going to let him send it.
Clear on the right.
I'm going to keep it around the outside. It's a double apex corner, and get the drive off the corner and keep the positions. That was really nice from both of us. We gave each other room. There was no argy-bargy, no door banging like the other Mercs in the laps earlier. And we keep the position for now. You can see I'm squirming all over the place. That was a 1:30 that lap. Guy behind, even from trying to attack me, did go quicker. And he almost hits me into turn 1, but he bails out of it. And oh, it's so close. Coming down into the crane of curves. The gap actually has increased due to that. So let's see if we can get the crane of curves right this time. And it's not looking good. Track limits, but no time gained, and you can see that terrible exit. It means he's got a run into McLean's, and he's just going to send it. I mean, I thought the gap was big enough for him to not go for it, but he full on just sent it up the inner side. I had no reply to that, so I've just got to try and stick behind now and keep with him, because that's all I can do. He's got fast. Let's hopefully he doesn't drive into the distance, into the sunset. 4 minutes to go. I haven't got long to reply. You can see I'm actually much later on the brakes into the chicane, but about even on exit. Another squirm. It's a tricky chicane that. It's quite bumpy on the curbs, so you have to use the curbs to get the most time. Into the hairpin. Again, a bit wide. Couldn't get on the power as early as I'd like. He's just increased his gap by another 10th or so. But all these matter, you know. 10th by 10th he's getting away. He clearly had a bit more pace than me all race, so he's gonna extend away from me. And on to one of the last laps. I believe this is penultimate lap, and we're just gonna have really no reply. I mean, look, he's already a second up the road now into the crane of curves. I'm trying my best to keep with him, but he's just running away. Nothing I can do. The gap behind is big enough for me to sort of not push 110% to keep with him. So we've got a 3-second gap back, and he's still out the crane of curves. Oh, we've got a guy spinning on the right there. We've sort of got pressure loss on the left rear, I believe, and you never really want to hear that. That means you've basically got a slow puncture. But only 2 minutes to go, 2 laps to go, and you can see it doesn't affect us. Fuel level is low, but not critical, thank God. I'm going to kind of come across the line in, I think, a very respectable second.
Excellent job, mate.
Not far behind the leader, about 1.5 seconds. So it was actually a very close race, and I think, I mean, if I'd saw that move coming, I might have been able to keep the position for a little longer, but I think inevitably he would have got past. He just had a bit more pace than me. But that was it. You can see on the celebration lap now, bringing it back to the pits, and I think the guy in front of me is very happy with that. So fair play to him. He won that outright. He got me, so I couldn't reply there. And that was it. So we had the Aston Martin, and Aston Martin from nowhere ended up being third, a Lamborghini in fourth. So it was a pretty good race. It's pretty good into the sunset as well, which was really nice. Got some picturesque views as well. But that was it, guys. If you did enjoy, well, the Merc spinning out there on his formation lap, yeah, on his out lap even.
Car on the left.
Any support would be greatly appreciated. Try and build the channel up more than 20 subs or so would be really nice. It's half term now, so I'll be having quite a bit more content coming out for you guys.
Car on the right.
Hoping you enjoy. Get a little tap from the Aston. So he was actually in the V12 Aston. So fair play to him. As an absolute weapon on the straights as well, though. So it was a good race. I really enjoyed that. It was I think one of my best races in a while. I haven't done too many ACC Open lobbies for a little while after this. I'm going to peel into the pit lane, and there's confirmation. So we take second, just behind the other Merc, and that is it, guys. So I hope you all enjoyed. Again, there's going to be more content coming out very soon. But that is it from me, guys. Have a nice rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time.